everybody, Joy here. Time to start a new snippet string. It's Wednesday and Philly's waiting for me, so I have to hurry. But I want to thank you for your honesty. So many people pointed out a broken cross or a swastika, and actually when I was arranging them I thought, this looks like something, and I couldn't remember what a swastika looked like, believe it or not. So I was reading my comments in the restaurant yesterday with Jerry, and I said, what does a swastika look like? And he said, well, it's like a broken line. And I said, a broken line? And I gave him a pen and I gave him a napkin and I said, draw me one. So he drew me a swastika, and man, could I ever see it then. So of course I don't want that demonic symbol on my quilt. It wasn't meant to look that way. I just picked the wrong color fabrics. I put the light where the dark went and the dark where the light went, or some screwy thing. But anyway, here's its replacement. So, tell me what you think about its replacement. This is all sewn together. This is all sewn together, and that down there is all loose still. And I keep rearranging these blocks over and over and over. And I appreciate so much you're telling me things. Where there was two and where there was one that made a funny cross. One of you said there's one in the first row, one on top of another one that makes the funny cross. Well, evidently I've already moved it because I don't see the funny cross anymore. But you were absolutely right. And I appreciate that, I really do. I know I am not the world's best pizza. I'm not the best pizza. Jerry keeps buying these pizzas. Jerry, those are not good for you. Well, we don't eat them every day. I said, well, we should never eat them. He buys those DiGiorno pizzas, and he always buys the Supreme with all the nasty meats on top. How do we get off on that? Don't you love when my brain just shoots off like a crazy firecracker? So, I have decided I don't like this basket on top of this block, because it makes it look like it continues and it stops here instead of here. So I'm taking this block out and I'm putting that block there. See? And then it turns out that I had two of these down here at the bottom. Yeah, there's one and here's one. And so I've got to figure out how to get those far apart from each other. And then I had several that I ended up with two of. I've got two of this one here and there. So I don't know, I have taken this apart so many times and I don't want to take it apart anymore. But let me show you, I'm such a bad piecer. Let me show you a big boo-boo I made, but I don't care. I like it. I really don't care if all the blocks are turned the same way. I have the bear paw turned 3 different ways. I have it going this way here, and that way there, and this way here. Oh wait. This one and this one look alike now. Let me see, I gotta turn it around. It's got to point up. Up like that. See? So I like that. I like that the bear paws can point 3 different ways. They're the spool. Somebody said, what are your spools? They're sideways. I know. I want it to be sideways because I don't want the spools to all look alike. So there's a spool down here at the bottom that I'm turning sideways. This block is switching to this block, and this block's going down there. So anyway, look at the basket here. It might be too low for you to see, but see how the basket shows up better next to the light bottom square instead of over here dark to dark. So still making a few little changes. And sit down y'all, sit down. I'm gonna change the barn door to blue. I know. I can't sleep at night for worrying about that blasted barn door. So this is going to be blue. I think the windows are going to stay the way they are. It's really bright. It's very bright inside this barn. The cows and the horses like light. You know, I've got half a notion to stick a horse's head and a cow's head in the window. If I could draw, I totally would do it too. And see, this one, I've got it going up and down here, and I've got going sideways over there. And, oh, I was going to show you my big, big boo-boo. Nobody's noticed this yet, and I'm surprised. This block is wrong. These points are supposed to go the same direction. They're not supposed to go to the left here and to the right here. This block is sewn together wrong. But I don't care, I like it. And so then, did I get the other two right by some accident? There's two more like it, of course. Oh, here's one. And look, it's just as wrong. It's got the white going up and the blue going down. And this one's got a point chopped off of it. Isn't that lovely? So, but from the back of a running horse, you know how they say. And there's a third one down here. And this is actually the way it's supposed to be. See? Totally wrong, totally wrong. But I figure, you know, those kinds of things make it original joy. An original joy quilt. But I don't want it to be a huge mistake to where they think I had no clue what I was doing. But I think it's so, so pretty. But, yeah, it's not easy unsewing, 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 and putting the fourth door. I just thought, you know, there's beige all over this quilt. And I thought, you know, I never saw a blue door on a barn. If I've seen any doors on a barn, they've always been red. But they're never the color of the barn. Our doors are white on our barns. So, anyway, I'll find a really light blue. How about that? And make the door a really light blue. So, that will make that door person happy. And I've got the swastika off there. And I think my last change is going to be to disconnect these two. Put this here. This one's going to go there. See here? That's going to go there. Underneath the basket. And then this one's going to go somewhere. I don't know where. Okay. What's the date? Well, if I knew, I'd tell you. Let me see. May 3. I think it's May 3, 2023. And important announcement. We're going to Oklahoma City tomorrow to stay in a hotel near the hospital where Jerry's going Friday at some time. We don't know yet. They're supposed to call us tomorrow between 1 and 3 and tell us what time his surgery is. But he is having surgery on his shoulder. He studied it and studied it and studied it and went back to the doctor and got the PA. And the PA said that his muscle was actually separated from the tendon or something. So he wants to have the surgery. And yes, we know it's not going to be fun. And it's going to slow down production here for at least 6 weeks. And then 4 to 6 months of physical therapy. Now, Jerry actually likes going to physical therapy. It's 20 miles from here, and he actually likes going there. He knows the people there. You know, we used to have a medical equipment business, and Jerry worked with physical therapists all over this area and the Oklahoma City area. So he actually knew these people before he even started being a patient. So he actually likes going there. It's just, it's much easier to do all the exercises if you're there and that's what you're there for. You know, like when you go to a gym. If we had a gym here, I'd be going to it. I used to love doing that. So, anyway, I've got to go. Philly's waiting for me. Since we're going to be gone tomorrow, traveling to Oklahoma City, we decided to do a Wednesday Zoom. So I have to get over there to my computer. I'll be back later. So it's 4 o'clock-ish. And this is still Wednesday, and I have a surprise for me. You know, I'm doing the row of the month, block of the month for the season in blue with Edited Sitar. You can do it, it's totally free. You just go to laundrybasketquilts.com, click on blog, and the first thing that will come up is this month's 4 blocks. I did it while I was Zooming with Philly. Our Zoom was broken today. And Philly said it was something on her computer. She could hear me talk, but I could not hear her talk. And we did it and redid it and redid it, and I never could hear her talk. The sound would not come through from her end. So we ended up just doing FaceTime on my iPad, which was fine. But the picture's so tiny of me. So you want to see what the block 5 for May is? It's 4 of these Christmas trees. I guess they're not Christmas trees. But this is mine. And I had templates for these. And I really like the templates and drawing the little dots. But even with those, it is still so possible to have things not come out perfect. And I even looked at her quilt of 100 of these trees. And I noticed that hers didn't always come out perfect either. Sometimes these 2 points of the trees touched, and sometimes they didn't. On hers. So I was real excited because I was about to start over. So this is my trees. I don't know why there's only 4. I'm wondering if they're going to line up with the house blocks, but then there's only 2 house blocks, so I don't know how that's going to work. But I got that done. But I didn't get anything done on this yet. And we're leaving tomorrow, you know, for Jerry to go to Oklahoma City to the hospital to have his surgery on Friday. We have no idea if he's going to be there at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. And we won't know until tomorrow afternoon. So I'm not real happy about that because I like to be able to plan my days, you know. But that's okay. Whatever. I figure I'll write a letter to my friend Vivi or something while I'm there. Time will go by really fast. It always does for me. At least, hopefully now, you're not required to wear a mask sitting in the waiting room in a hospital. I hope not, because I hate those things. And now that people have finally decided that it's okay to live your normal life and not wear a mask everywhere, I'm hoping that the hospital police don't come by and say, "Lady, get your mask on." And I don't usually have one, but it's usually hanging down here to protect my chin. Okay, now that's me. That's me. If you want to wear a mask and you think it helps, then you do what's right for you. Okay? So there's my trees. Yay. Everything's blue. Have you noticed that? I need to make a quilt that isn't blue. Oh, and guess what? Right after Mother's Day. Mother's Day is this weekend. And can you believe I'll be blocks away from my daughter and won't hear from her or see her? It will be a very, 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 very hard day for me, I promise you. You would think a heart couldn't break anymore. But it can, see, here I go. I wish I hadn't mentioned Mother's Day. So anyway, that's not the point. Forget that. Just forget that. The day after Mother's Day, Edita's going to announce her first mystery quilt for 2023. I don't know if she's doing more than one, but she's starting with this one, and it has something to do with applique, and it has something to do with flowers. So I told Philly about it a little while ago, and I said, I'd love to do it together. She said, oh, let's do it together. So we're going to do the mystery quilt, and I'm sure Avondra would do it too if she wasn't. My friend Avondra is very ill right now and going through some kind of chemotherapy, and I try not to bother her. She has tons of friends, and she's always going to some appointment or another, and I want to every day say, how are you today? How are you today? How are you today? But I don't want to just be, you know, the pesky friend from Oklahoma that's constantly bugging her. But she is an amazing quilter, amazing. And I know she would want to do this if she wasn't feeling so bad right now. But for now, Philly and I are going to do the mystery quilt, some kind of flowers, some kind of applique. So you want to do it with us? Do you? Hey, we could Zoom it. What if we had a Zoom and like a bunch of you wanted to do it with us? And we could like do a Zoom. You know, hopefully there wouldn't be over, you know, half a dozen ladies. But wouldn't that be fun? I'm going to be in this sewing room day after. Well, maybe I won't be, because if I'm going to have to be the driver now and the fixer of things that break and the replacing the burned out light bulbs and things like that, maybe I won't have that much time to be up here. I don't know. You know, all the fabric I took out to send to the charity where my friend Sherry Marie sews for the abused girls. And they have something for the boys too, but she does the dolls for the girls. That box is at least 30 pounds because it's heavier than my sewing machine. So I thought tomorrow Jerry's arms will work, and I know where there's a UPS place because we're going up to Oklahoma City, and we lived there forever and ever and ever. And I know where the UPS place is. So I'm hoping while he still has arms tomorrow, we can get that box mailed to Sherry Marie, who lives down by Houston, Texas. So after that, I'm sure there will be no heavy lifting. So I think if I didn't have Jerry to help me, I have this little thing on wheels that it had like a shelf on the bottom and these wheels and this bungee cord, and you could like put your sewing machine on it and you could like roll it to class. So if it wasn't for Jerry being able to help me tomorrow, I think I'd put that in my car and use that to take that box. Of course, I'd still have to get the thing on it. I could go inside and maybe rent a man or something. You know, when you're old like this, when I'm in the parking lot and I'm not with Jerry and I've got heavy bottles in my car, I'll stand out there behind my car and I'll just look at the bottles and just look off like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pick up these bottles? And some man will just show up. He'll just, here, let me help you with that, ma'am. I'll tell you, it's really nice to be old in that particular case. With all my quilting and all my sewing, I drop pins in this carpet. And I worry. If I know I dropped one, I look for it right away. But I was walking around a while ago, and I thought, I wonder what's on my heel. It feels like a rock. And I turned my foot up, and there was a pin stuck to my stocking. Do any of you remember my other sewing room at my other house that was in Edmond, Oklahoma, and how I made the living room and the formal dining room a great big sewing room, and I painted it the prettiest color? It was like one of the colors in that quilt there. It's called Tropical Bay, and it's kind of a real pretty greenish turquoisey, and I loved it, loved it, loved it. Well, we found a painter man, not from here because nobody here works, but somebody came up from Texas, was here yesterday, and he said he has like 5 crews for his company that paint for him. And I had him measure this room and look at it, and he's going to give me a quote. Not that this is going to be easy, mind you. Getting the TV down, he said that his guys would move the shelves if I got all of everything off the shelves. And the pegboard you just paint around so I don't have to move all the thread. The quilts are easy to come down. The thread racks, yeah, I think we can do it. This is a very big room, but there's a lot of holes in it because there's the 2 big windows, there's the big peg rack, there's the big but you have to paint behind a TV screen. There's the bathroom door, there's the bedroom door, there's the closet doors, there's all the cabinets over there. So I don't think it's like that big a room when you consider how broken up it is. But then again, it may be extra for every opening to paint around it. Yeah. I've painted lots of rooms. My daddy was a painter, and his daddy was a painter. And his brothers were painters. I mean, they painted homes inside and out. And so I grew up knowing how to paint. Me and my sisters, we all can paint. I don't know about my brother. He was the baby. But yeah, and I really enjoy it. But, you know, with Jerry's arm and him not being able to help me, we'll just hire someone to do it. But aren't you moving? Well, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It depends. It depends. By the time Jerry gets through the surgery and physical therapy for at least a month. Philly said that she and Roger had to go for a month. Somebody told Jerry 4 months. But when all of that's over and Jerry can lift, I saw Philly. Philly had the same thing several years ago. She tried to lift her Solaris machine off the ground when they were moving, and she hurt her shoulder, so she's had that surgery. And she told me that she had the surgery, and shortly thereafter her husband had the surgery. And I said, I want to see if you can lift your arm. And she lifted her arm way up in the air like this, and I said, that's awesome. So, looking forward to the end result on that. Okay, gonna let you go for now. I've got to put all of my things away, pretty much. Turn off all my machines, unplug all the plugs, put some things away, go hang my trees up next to my other rows. get some things together that I want to take with me. I don't know how long we're going to be up there. Jerry's having a surgery on Friday, and I said, well, you know, just in case, I can't imagine anything would go wrong. But, you know, we're 150 miles away from this hospital. And I said, I think we should stay in a hotel for the weekend in case, just in case. And of course, probably nobody's going to do anything on Saturday or Sunday. And Jerry said, I totally agree. So I just pray the carpet isn't too filthy. Oh, I can't believe they let animals stay in those places. Look here. I have to come back and show you this. I know. I'm not doing any of the things I'm supposed to be doing. I'm so bad. Bad girl. I'm supposed to be getting ready to leave town. So, I rearranged this because obviously it's rows. And so I figure Edita isn't going to build the quilt with the rows going up and down, or the trees would be going sideways, right? So I just rearranged it. My quilts are just fancy bulletin boards is all they are. Yes, I tell you, I am so proud of these right here. Oh my goodness, those were a job. I can't imagine making an entire quilt, but that's really a pretty row, isn't it? This is no big deal, although you'd think it was as hard as it is for me to make, and this one too. And I haven't fixed the one out there yet. I will. I've got, you know, all next week we'll be here. So I haven't fixed it yet. But, and the house doesn't work right, see? I thought the house would go next to the tree, but the house, this one's too long and this one's too short. So I did check, and the houses really are like that, one big, one little. So, okay, I'm going to make myself go do all the things I have to do now. I'm falling down on the floor doing the splits. What I really need to do is go downstairs, it's 5 o'clock, and I need to do my Shelley exercises and my weights. And then I think we're going to do shakes for dinner tonight because we went out to lunch and we had catfish and hush puppies and a salad and stuff like that. So I told Jerry we need to eat light tonight. So light tonight could mean a bowl of cereal, or it could mean a healthy shake. We shall see. Okay, it's time to end this snippet. This is like 4 days later. Let me tell you, husbands on painkillers are totally different people. It's like having a crazy stranger broke into your house and he doesn't even know who you are, and he doesn't pay attention to anything you tell him, and every time you turn around he's out of his chair. Philly told me that the pain meds, oxycodone, me and Philly, they knock us completely out and we just sleep constantly. Not him. Brought him home, I drove, and of course, you know, I guess it's time I found out at 73 years old that I just don't drive right. Why do I drive with my foot on the gas pedal? Well, what the heck should it be, on the roof? Good grief. You need to just put it in cruise control because you keep going faster and slower and faster and slower. I said, that's because there's traffic, Jerry. He was in the back seat. He has this humongous cast. And I'll show you a picture of it if I can. And not a cast, it's a sling. But it's worse than a cast. It's just huge. And he couldn't sit in the front seat because his arm would have had to stick out the window, or I had to drive home with the door open so his sling could stick out of it. So he was right behind me. And so he was supposed to be sleepy. I figured, oh, he'll just sleep the whole way home. He didn't sleep a bit. He corrected my driving constantly. Then we finally get here, like 3 hours later. And I think, yay, I can take him in the house. I can put him in the recliner, give him another pain pill, and he'll just sleep the rest of the day. And I can unload the car, put everything away, do the laundry, finish my video. I put him in his chair. I went to do something in the bedroom, put clothes away or something. I come back out and he's gone. Jerry, Jerry. No Jerry. I look outside and he's across over there at the barn, walking around the barn. If I hadn't gone in, I wouldn't even have seen him. Walking around the side of the barn to go check his truck or something. Went over there. I said, Jerry, this is how you fell to start with. You're on pain medications. You're dizzy. You can't be out here walking around. Come back. Finally getting back. Oh, no, you're telling me what to do. Leave me alone. Finally getting back, getting put in the recliner in the drawer chair. And so I start unloading the car again. You know, it's like he's dozing off a little bit. I think, okay. All right. So I go and I start unloading the car some more. Another 15 minutes. I think, well, I better go check on him. I go and I look at the chair and there's nobody in it. He's gone again. Jerry! No Jerry. I look up and I notice he's outside in the front yard walking back and forth across the front of the house on the sidewalk. So I go get him again. I'm telling you, I yelled so much. I finally poured myself a glass of wine. Nothing I said made any difference. Nothing I said lasted over 2 seconds that I even said it. Oh, I'd say, here's the directions. The doctor said this. I'm a pharmacist. I don't need a doctor to tell me what to do. I think I know how to take the pills, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that was Friday, Saturday, and yesterday. Today, now yesterday he stopped taking the pain meds because they clog you up and you can't go to the bathroom right, and that was very, very upsetting to him, so he quit taking the pain meds, so grouchier than ever. But better today, he's off the pain meds, and he's not hurting so bad that he feels he has to take them. But finally, you know, I went to town, got him some of that stuff, and everything's working fine now. But this morning, he was still half nuts. He said, the directions are in my office. I said, no, they're not. They're in your briefcase. I put them in your briefcase. No, you didn't. They're on my desk. So he insists that the instructions for taking a shower and taking off the sling are on his desk. So we go in his office. The instructions on his desk are for before surgery, not after. I go get the briefcase. I get the instructions out. I thought, how much longer? Anyway, praise the Lord forevermore, miracle of miracles. I had him sitting in the bar stool in the kitchen because I was supposed to take the bandages off today. And boy, was he bandaged. Oh, I'm not kidding you. 8 inches, 10 inches high. And pulled them off, and they were all icky looking, of course. And threw them away. And I was getting ready to put them in the shower, and the nurse called from the hospital. And the directions say, do not get the wounds wet. Whatever you do, don't get them wet, or the world's going to come to an end. You have to call the surgeon immediately and find the doctor's office immediately, and find out what to do if you dare get the steri strips wet. So I'm cutting out press and seal saran wrap, and I'm putting layer after layer on his wounds so I can get him in the shower. And the nurse calls and she said, if they get wet, just dab them dry. I said, I love you. Anyway, he'd had his clothes on since Friday morning. That's Friday all day, Saturday all day, Sunday all day till this morning. I wanted to put them out in the burn pile and burn them. So anyway, he got a shower, he got his hair washed, and we've got brand new clothes on. And then he was supposed to start his exercise. I'm sure y'all know, you could tell me, hang your arm down and do it in circles and go like this or something. So I was thrilled. So we do that. It says do it 5 times a day. It should take 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, so Mr. Superman decides he's going to do his exercises. He's done them before. He's been to physical therapy. He knows how to do them, blah, blah, blah. So I go out there and I make him a little chart. And I number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you're supposed to do them 5 times a day. And then on the left, I put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so he can check off when he does his exercises. So I come out. I said, are you done with your exercises? Yes. I said, well, let's get this sling back on you. He said, no, I'm not going to wear it. I thought, okay. We have a baseball bat somewhere. I said the doctor came in to my room. He told me himself, you are to wear that sling unless you are taking a bath or exercising, and you're going to wear the sling if I have to wrap it around your neck. So and the sling is so huge and so cumbersome. I've ordered a different sling because the surgeon suggested just buy a cheap sling you can wear in the shower. Well, we had a cheap one this morning. I cut a strip of fabric, 3 inches wide, kind of like it's just a strip of fabric, and I wrapped it around his arm like this, and then I tied it around his neck. And that was his sling to take a shower. It worked great. It worked absolutely great. That'll be tomorrow's sling. So anyway, he's fine, he's fine. He's, already thinking he doesn't need his sling, but he's going to wear it. We go back the 15th, back up to Oklahoma City and see the doctor, and we'll see what he says then. But my friend Phil totally cracks me up. She was, why is it so hot in here? I've got everything turned up because we were out of town. But she called me, and I was hiding in the bathroom at the end of the house so he couldn't hear me talking. She was cracking up. She had her shoulder done. Her husband had his shoulder done. So she totally understands what we're going through. When I told her he kept disappearing and leaving his chair, she just about split a gut. She said, I'm like you. She said, if I take the pain meds, they just knock me out, put me to sleep. So I just hate taking them. And she said some people have the complete opposite reaction and it wires them. So evidently Jerry's the wiry type. But I'm going to end this video because it's really old. What you just saw before this, I did 4 or 5 days ago. I did want to show you what I'm working on right now that my husband showered and happy and watching TV. I'm making my E-top for the ABC challenge. So the next set of snippets, I'll show you what I made and what pattern it was. Okay? But bye for now.